Strange silence, we carry it on the truth. It's there when our tears fall. All right, welcome.
Hi, everybody. Oh, we forgot we live too. So it's familiar.
Welcome. We are
Hi,
back
everybody.
for another Stranger Silence podcast. We're having a conversation today in honor of the recognition for July is Bereaved Parents Month. And that is parents that have lost a child by miscarriage or maybe by stillborn or even after they have been born and been here for a while. So we have a panelist today. We have a panel of D So Pretty and Jason. We also have Miss Nisha, myself as well. And Linda's going to be asking the questions today as we share with you our heart. And we hope that this conversation will touch someone else and let you know that there is life after the trauma. Okay?
Yes.
So y'all sit back and ride with us. Yes. Take it away, Linda.
Okay. First, let me say thank you guys for being here and willing to share your story. I know it's hard. So I want to ask real quick, how you guys showing up today? Like mentally, spiritually, emotionally, like how you guys showing up for yourselves, for us, willing to share the story. To be honest, I'm a little anxious. I'm always a bit anxious. Just thinking about it and talking about it, but I'm excited to talk about it and to hear other stories and to feel comfortable like asking questions. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't ask that right now. So honestly, I'm like looking forward to asking them questions and learning from them as well. Um, I feel like like a little anxious a little bit, but I am an open book. I know I'm not the only one who's actually went through these situations, obviously. So, I'm willing to share and talk about anything. It's Nick.
I feel strong. I feel like an anchor. Simply because it's been so long for me that I've had a lot of time to process the emotions. My son would have been 23. He was born in 98, so he would have been 20, 26. Yeah. Yeah, not even, yeah, he would have been 26. So I've had a lot of time. He passed at 16 months, so I've had a lot of time to process it and go through those emotions. So I feel a little bit more grounded, and hopefully I can share some of that with y'all because I know it's fresher for you. So I want to be a support as well as somebody sharing my story too. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. You don't man this panel.
I'm great. How can I not be good? Y'all ain't see her? And I like her shoes too, so I'm gonna go.
So let's introduce this little precious one real quick. Who is she and how many months did?
This is not my baby.
This is your miracle rainbow baby,
the golden
right?
child.
Yeah, the golden child, as they say. Yes, okay.
Yeah, I'm so obsessed with her. With her beautiful self.
You know, and everybody loves babies, so of course she has to be part of our panel.
Yes. Yes.
So to bring some joy into this
Not that
topic.
that's crying in the background. No, we don't know that one.
Yeah, we don't know that one. Definitely don't know one. Okay, so the loss itself, would you guys feel comfortable with sharing a little bit about your child and the circumstances and realizing like how your life changed since the loss? Anyone?
I know with the circumstances with mine, I was about 6 months pregnant, and we went to a routine checkup. And they did the ultrasound, and then the doctor came in, and I kind of knew something was wrong when he came back in with the tech. So once he was saying like, "Oh, there's no like cardiac activity," and we like, what are you talking about? And then he's like, there's no heartbeat, pretty much. So I think that one, it was just honestly, it was a lot of blur. But that part you probably have to talk to him about because everything was like a blur from there. I know that my support system was there, but everybody here was definitely there for me. But it was just one of those like life changing moments because it's like you're planning your life, and they always say like I laugh at you when you make plans, but you're planning your life and you're planning what's going on next, and then that happened, and it was just like nowhere to go after that because my plan wasn't in place anymore. So I didn't know what to do, where I was going, what was happening next. Because what was happening next was baby shower and giving birth, So it kind of just threw everything off. And that was only a year ago. That was June 10th, 2024. So it was like it's still like throwing everything out. We still trying to like navigate. Like, all right, what are we doing? Like, what's happening? Because in our minds, like this time this year, we was gonna be planning the first birthday. So it's just that trying to figure out that what's next. This what's going on.
How do you keep moving forward? I guess, right? Because
Yeah.
how about you do? Because you're the only man here, but I think as in general, society tends to forget that you go through this as well.
Right.
Like it's not just us women; it's
Right.
you as well. So how do you feel like things are different? How do you feel like you trying to move forward?
I'm gonna answer the question where I want to start off by calling out the podcast on the Father's Day episode. I noticed y'all questions was kind of geared towards me. I kind of blended in everybody else, so I'm not surprised I'm here so y'all can ask me directly. But yeah, I just think that it's not really what you go through, what I go through thing. I think it's more so like you can't really think about it like that. You can't really be selfish about it. It's like that'll tell you apart. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was just more so just trying to focus on being there for her. And then when I needed what I needed, I tried to go find it. Even though it's kind of hard to me, but yeah, I don't really see it that way. It makes it way more difficult when you try to like take sides of like I ain't getting everybody paying attention to her, nobody paying attention to me. Like, of course, that's gonna affect you. Of course, it's gonna make you feel some type of way. But if that's all you know, it don't really make no difference. You just keep on going.
Mhm. It's like you're trying to be strong for her, and I know she's been strong for you, but it's just like you also need to be strong for yourself to be able to navigate through it, right?
Mhm.
Because I don't think um, grief is easy for anyone, right? Um, and I've never experienced that, so I don't know the pain that any of you guys have been through or try to get through it. But I know grief is hard in general for anybody in society. So I think especially the loss of a child makes it.
Yeah.
I think because grief takes so many different forms, and it's one of them things that is like you think that it's happening, and then it's happening in a whole other way on the backside.
It's so many stages.
Yes.
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 So Alicia, how about you?
Well, my situation was kind of like these, like, but I actually work at the doctor's office. So, like, literally, it was like the pharmacy, a wall, and then the OBGYN part. So, like, you can literally hear, like, the baby's heartbeat, like, through the wall, like, some patients. So, like, he was going for, like, a routine checkup, and then they were like, there was no heartbeat or whatever. And that was probably like the worst day of my entire life. Like I've never experienced death. Like someone close to me, like ever. Like, if it was somebody like I knew, it was probably like somebody like old, like my grandpa died. So it was kind of like his time because they
Yeah.
was already like,
It makes sense.
Yeah.
but like never like a child or like somebody close. That was like the first thing, like, and oh my gosh, like it was terrible.
Devastating.
And like in that moment, you're just so numb because it's like I
Can't
I,
believe
I
it.
can't believe it. And then like being pregnant, that's kind of like one of your worst fears, like having a stillborn or going through like a miscarriage. And like when it happens to you, like I can't believe this happened to me. Like, and then you question yourself, like, why did it happen to me? Like you questioning God, you know. So, but I feel like one thing to get through is like prayer for sure. Prayer, like, and people really praying for you, not saying like they
Yeah.
just saying, really people praying for you. And I knew people were praying for me because you could actually feel it.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
and like my grandma, she was Jehovah's Witness, so she always praying. And like I just felt her presence even though she wasn't there. And like my older sister as well, like at that time, like she was like really, really like in the church. So like I just felt prayers, and then like having a supportive partner, like them being there for you, like that's another thing too. Like when that was all happening, like, nobody, people do think about the guy, but they really don't. They focus on the woman because she actually had the bond with the baby or whatever. But you really have to show that support in the man too. Like when
Yes.
that day that happened, like when he was crying, it was like I couldn't even cry because I was trying to be strong for him. When I was crying, it's like he wouldn't even cry, like because he was trying to be strong for me. Like, and I couldn't cry while he was crying. Like it's like I was not even making me cry at all. So just like having a supportive partner and just like family, and I think just kind of telling yourself to not even get into like a stage of like depression, stuff like that. Because I've been through depression before even having like a baby, so I know like not wanting to eat, not wanting to drink, not wanting to talk to anybody. Like, so I didn't want to.
Just a mental.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into that space. So it's like I kind of just kept going, but I never really got like any therapy or anything like that. But like I don't know. Just my mind, like, I know that I could do it, but I knew I was, like, strong enough to deal with it. So, but sometimes
And it's like going back working at the doctor's office.
I never went back.
Like after the appointment.
Well, I did go back for, like, my checkup afterwards, but I never went back to work.
Yeah.
It was just too
Yes.
too stressful. And then it's kind of like you just get reminded every day because
Yeah.
it's like newborn babies coming in there for like their first appointment,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like I just could not.
It's like how do you heal? How do you move forward when you're seeing it in your face every day?
Yeah.
So that's hard.
That was like when I went back to church because my son's funeral was at our church. And so every time I go to church, I'm sitting there trying to listen and I go off and see his casket up front. And my pastor had twins that were the same age as my son. So I would see them and just boo cry. Now, the thing I'm grateful for is we were already going to build a new church because, all the churches have a building fund. And they'll never know that church. No shade, whole shade. But we actually did have a building fund and we actually broke ground on the new church because it was very difficult to sit up there and see his casket. I stopped going for a while, but they finally tore down the old church and we moved into the new one right next door. So that made it a little bit easier. But I can feel where you're coming from. Like, I stopped going.
Yeah.
And that part that you were talking about, feeling that pain and being angry, I did spiral. I'm not even gonna lie. And I still had 3 daughters, but I always wanted a boy. And I had my tubes cut and tied after my second daughter. So I felt like, okay, I thought for sure that my third daughter was a boy. Nah. And then 4 years later, tubes still cut and tied. I had my son. I was 23 and it was a 40-year-old man. So I was like, what the heck? His youngest son was 18. We weren't thinking about having no child, and he thought I was. So I said, okay, this is my miracle baby. I'm supposed to have him, and I did for 16 months. And so I was angry. I was like, how you give me what I want and then take him from me? I didn't want to hear, and I'm just keeping it above. I don't want to hear nothing about God. I don't want to hear nothing about church. Don't come to, and people don't know what to say. They think they do, but they don't know. Oh God, God, this is just a shut,
Yeah, not right now.
shut the fuck,
Yeah,
because
not right now.
don't talk to me about that. I'll just tell you what brought me around is I had spiraled so bad. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to cook. Like I didn't want to do nothing. And I was in the floor one day. Just I used to just cry and scream, God, take me. Why'd you leave me? Take me. My mama was gone. She died on my mama's birthday. 6 years after she died. Like, take me. Why the fuck am I still here? And I was just on the floor, done. And I looked up, and my 3 daughters were standing in the door, moving, crying, listening to me say that. And when I looked at their faces, I said, "Who gonna take this?" And on my mama, I said that shook me out of it. I was like, God, all the shit that happened to me in my life, and I'm sitting here saying, take me. Who the fuck gonna look out for them? So it was at that moment I said, all right, Keish, you gotta get it together. And they tell you to go to church and pray it off. Baby, I prayed it off for 10 years and it kept coming back. It wasn't that. And it's dealing with the plans. You feel me when I say like I can't imagine losing them young. But then the plans of actually having them here. And do you know how many years I tried to get pregnant again? So I could kind of replace that, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
My tube was cut tight, and it actually worked after that. You know what I'm saying?
It didn't make sense.
It did fucking sense.
Yeah.
But it was the plans. This was my son, and he was gonna be this gentleman, and he was gonna be this and that. And I had to realize it wasn't gonna be that. And so a lot of it was the why me? Now I understand. I understand that all the pain and trauma in my life has been for me to be able to be some support for somebody else.
Yeah.
And when you come to terms with that, that's when you can begin to heal and let. And that's what it had to do for me. Like instead of why me, okay, God, why me?
Yeah.
And when I learned that,
Yeah.
and I was able, a lady in my church had a baby that died suddenly. Didn't nobody understand her or know what to say. And it just so happened she ended up coming and stay with me. And so she said to me, Sister Keisha, don't nobody know what to say. They think they have to mean that, but you did it. And we would just cry. Sometimes we just hold each other and cry.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Ain't no words necessary. So for me, that's how I showed up. I spiraled bad until my children brought me back. So I say often, my 3 girls saved my life.
Yeah, that's that.
And it's
Can I say something? I'm gonna speak to your point. I'm gonna speak to her point. Your first point. I forgot to say like, cause she said her story was blurry. So basically, like, in that moment, it's like when somebody tell you something you're not expecting to hear. For me personally, like I got like when things get chaotic, I get like a 1-track mind. So it's like do this, do that, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? So all I could think of was like make sure like when we walking out of there, like don't nobody see her how she don't want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? So like just like holding your head, like don't fall out of these people's shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to say it like that, but like in my mind, that's what I was thinking. Like be like just walk proud. You feel me? Stand proud. You know what I'm saying? Just get to where you going. And then once we got in the car, it was like it started to hit me more and more. But then 1-track mind kicked in again, like get home. Make sure we get home. You know what I'm saying? Like make sure we get home. That's all I could think. Just make sure we get home. After that, it's like as soon as I walked through the door, I just felt like, yeah, it was like I was home. But then it was like, damn, I'm home. And I was able to recognize in that moment that was my first time coming home without him. You know what I'm saying?
so it's interesting you say that because it's just like as the difference between the women and the men, right? We focus on our feelings. And it's just like you saying you weren't even focused on your feelings. You was focused on wanting you to get it done and the task at hand that needed to get done versus emotion of thinking about your feelings and how to process those feelings, right? Because sometimes we don't. And again, we've had different stages, but I think processing our feelings are very important.
Yeah.
Because when you internalize it, it's worse.
Yeah.
Right? It's worse.
Yeah.
So there's no way to let it out. There's no way. And then when it's time to let it out, or when you're ready to let it out, or it's worse because you like an outburst, or, you know,
It's all
like,
balls up, snowball.
it's all balls up and snowball. And we don't know how to we don't understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
We don't know how to help you, and nobody knows how to show up for you. So it's interesting that you say that.
Yeah. And I feel like your real grief starts when you get home.
Yeah.
Like once you walk through the door and realize like everything that I planned or thought about, it's supposed to be now the three of us, the four of us. But now it's like I'm just starting back over it. It's like my life before I even got pregnant, but
Now,
I'm pregnant. It's like
And
come back to nothing.
full of diapers, the house full of baby stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
Wow.
like, what do you do?
Like when I was in the hospital, my boyfriend went back to the house to get me like clothes and stuff. And literally at the door, it was like some socks and bows that he had.
That's not
Like literally at the door. And it got delivered.
everything y'all seen we had got at the gender reveal was all in the stack at the front of the door. It was like a pyramid. But in my mind, I was thinking like when I walked in the house, I want niggas to know what was going on. You feel me? But it's crazy how things work because that just backfired. Like they even say, speak what you said. I'm trying to figure out the best way to say it.
Just say it.
Say it.
Yeah.
Like we are raw and honest. Like
You think like why me, right? And then once you get to that, like the different, like the same question, just asking it differently, like why me? And you realize like, damn, I had an epiphany, like damn, everything that has happened to me up to this moment has led me to this point.
yes, sir.
It's like take it how you want, because if you paying attention for real, then something that tragic, you'll know it's a lot of bullshit that lead up to that.
Yep.
So it's just like you just gotta figure out how to go about it. Like, do I wear this as armor? Like, do I wear it on me, or do I like let it tear me apart? You know what I'm saying? So it's like some days you wake up, some days you. I don't know about y'all, but I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster.
And but the thing is, the things that happen to you that affect you most trigger the things that are already in you that you've already been struggling with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all a part of it.
You know what? That whiny part of it too. I realized too. I was going in hindsight, because you know hindsight is always 2020. But the way I was going at that time in my life, I'm gonna just be honest. Had my son not died, I'd probably be dead now. You understand what I'm saying? And so I feel like my son's job was to come here and save me. So he gave himself for me. That was his contract to get me back on the right track, because that changed the entire trajectory of my life.
Yeah.
Like I was going way south at the time. Like when I tell you I was high and Cuda Brown, I was so baked sitting in the ER from his doctor's office to the ER. And I'm sure the damn ER physician was hot. Like he caught a contact on me. Like I was on some real shit at that point in time. And in hindsight, I can look back and say, damn, I saw myself going like this. And when that happened, boom, I went this way. And I look at everything else just like you said. And looking back at it, I'm like, oh, this, oh, okay. That realization helps too. You know what I'm saying? Like, understand, girl, you came here to save your life. What better love is that? You know what I'm saying?
The chaplain actually, when I was in the hospital, I gave birth, because and it's such a traumatizing experience, because when you get there, they like, all right, they prioritize the mom, so they're like, well, we can't get the baby out of you until your blood pressure goes down. So I had to have him in the unit for 4 days. before I could even give birth. So I'm just walking around with my dead child.
Oh my
And
God.
they like, it was one of those things like, man, like we could lose you for real, so that was traumatizing. And then that's when he started, like, that was my first time, like, seeing him having an anxiety attack. And that's the first time he put his hands on me because, and yeah, I'll put you down. They were getting me, ready. And I was in
You can't
so.
say that like that.
I know.
Everybody looking at me like, what?
You're gonna have to be Gerald over here. Hold
But
on.
for real, they was getting me ready, and I was in so much pain, and I was going in and out, and I would be one of these. Jason Smith like, hey, now what? Like, hey, no, we can't lose you.
Yeah,
Too. Like,
period.
he told me after he's I'm sorry, I didn't know what to do. Like, you wasn't there, and my eyes started running back. Man, he slapped me. I guess the nurses was like, man, but
She said I'm gonna bring her
I
back.
bet I was.
Hey.
I bet I was.
all these doctors here, somebody got to
And
do
that's
something.
different for you, right?
Yeah.
Because you
He lost
already
his son,
exactly. You're losing your son, and now you're talking about losing my wife. Like,
Hell no.
crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
and they saying like this could happen, this could happen. So he's like, no. They're like, okay, and then we could put her under anesthesia. He's like, no. By the time I woke up after the procedure, they're like, please call your husband. He has called down here
85 times.
please call him. But to say that is that they kept having the chaplain come to us, so they knew like we were good people and we just did not understand. And it took like the last one to come, and she really humbled me, and she was like, God lost his son too. And I'm like, as far as like so who do you think you are?
right?
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, wow. And it's like you say, I feel like he had so much of a mission and of a purpose to where as though he shifted so much stuff just by being here for those little 3 6 months. And a lot of times we often ask, and that's what I wanted to honestly ask y'all, like, did your circles change? Because as much support as we had during that time, we lost a lot of people. And we often say, like, I wonder if many people would have still been around if our baby was here because they wouldn't have had the opportunity to show their colors. So was that to like cleanse our surroundings and like
See who was really
yeah,
real in your
so
life.
is he protecting his parents?
Hello.
Because we went through so much people that was closer to us. I even had a friend who I supported like no other. We not friends because of how she saw people support me. And she went through a miscarriage prior the year prior and was like, oh, people wasn't there for me like that. Like, wait a minute, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? So it was little stuff like that. Again, best friends for years and years, just little things. And we like, if our baby was here, y'all wouldn't have had the opportunity to act like that. So it was just like, it's
Let you
just
see.
a bigger picture,
Yes, clear the palate. My mama used to always say, girl, that shirt ain't clean. I said, yes, it is. No, it's not. Put some heat on it. Put the iron on it.
Yeah.
I bet you know, and I put the iron
So,
on that. Ooh, okay.
uh-huh.
It's not clean.
Get a smell from it.
It cleared your circle. He saved you. And I wanted to say that, but I didn't know how people would take it. But I know how God felt losing his son, like his son sacrificing for me. And I was a whole heathen at the time. You feel what I'm saying? So, yes, the people I was around, and it also showed me who would show up for me.
Yeah.
Who came to the funerals. Like, my son was in the hospital for 3 months with a rare, now they have a simple cure for it. But this was in 2000, right? It was called a orphan disease. It wasn't enough people that it happened to that they actually even did studies.
Oh, it was, right.
Wow.
1 in every 200,000, 5 in a million at that time, right?
Wow.
So I literally had to get on the internet and search because one doctor had seen it one time 30 years before during his residency, right? But it was like,
It's dial-up, huh?
you
Yeah.
feel
This ain't cool. It's dial-up.
Can't even
He
be on the
said it's
phone.
dollar.
like, real spill, I got in touch with some people in Canada. Their child was born the same day as mine. Do you know their child died the same day as mine?
Wow.
Had the same symptoms, the same everything, and they was giving me information from their doctors. I'm giving it to my doctors because they don't know what to do.
Wow.
Like they was experimenting for real. My pastor now, and God rest his head. My pastor That man was more of a father to me than the man that pushed me out his nuts, okay? And he was there. I lived at Arnold Palmer for 3 months. I knew the nurses by name. I wanted to go into respiratory tech because when I was there. So they was telling me, I'm nosy too. So I'm asking all the questions and they showing me all this stuff. I almost became a respiratory tech because he had a trach put in. Like my son went into this hospital running around flirting with nurses and shit with just a little oxygen mask on. They took a biopsy and he never got back out the bed. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, I digress, but my point is, wasn't nobody there with me at that hospital. It was me and my baby.
Yeah.
My daughters were home. My daughter's aunt on their father's side was at my house. The girl I called my sister at that time was at my house. Her friend was at my house. But the girl that I called my sister at that time was doing some funny shit with my dude.
Why you in the
Whose
hospital?
son was in the hospital
Uh-uh.
dying. And I didn't beat her ass. And I was still her fucking friend after that.
Hold on.
Girl.
Keep going. I got something for that.
I was still her friend. You know who I was pissed off at? Yeah. Because that's our child. How you gonna pay her to strip for you in our house while I'm at the hospital with your fucking son who's dying? So when I got her in the car, I'm like, why you ain't tell me? He told it. I said, why you didn't tell me this? You know what she said? It wasn't nothing to tell. And everybody, my children included, is like, girl, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why is you still her friend? Because I see something in her. And she never had a friend, a real friend before. Now, she just recently came back on my page, like on my Facebook. But even after that, and I know y'all probably sound crazy, even after that, she was on the run. She was about to go to prison. She came to the house. I got to come to my house. Because all the Alton, she's from Orlando. They weren't coming here to for her. And so we was in the pool one day in my backyard. And she said, oh, I guess you can see I'm pregnant. And it's a boy. I want you to take him. And I did. She had to come back here from prison for a case. She had the baby. And I raised that boy for 5 months. And when she got out, she used him as a pawn against me multiple times. Well, if you don't do this, or if you don't give me this, you won't be able to see him. And I took it till I couldn't see him. And then she told me, oh, don't worry about it, because I'm going to give him up for adoption anyway. You ain't never going to see him again. That was it. I couldn't do it anymore. And that hurt my feelings. We had took